Okay, let me call this meeting of the City of Kerrville Planning and Zoning Commission to order at 4:30. Dorothy, would you call roll, please?
Bob Wallace,
Here.
Garrett Harmon,
Here.
Trisha Byram, David Jones,
Here.
Rustin Zuber,
Here.
Jim Brown,
Here.
Bill Morgan.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We'll go ahead and get started. Item number 1, Visitor Citizens Forum. If you have anything that's not scheduled on the agenda and would like to address the commission, please feel free to step forward to the microphone. State your name and address, please. The consent agenda. All items below in the consent agenda are considered routine or ministerial in nature and will be enacted with one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of items unless a commissioner or citizen so requests, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item 2A is the approval of minutes from the October 4th, 2018 meeting.
So moved.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 5-0. Thank you. Okay, item number 3, public hearing and consideration and action. 3A, Drew.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a request for a conditional use permit for an electric facility on approximately 4.5 acres out of the Samuel Wallace Survey number 114, abstract 348, City of Kerrville, located in the 2000 block of Singing Winds Drive. This is a proposed K-Pub solar facility project on Shriner University property along Singing Winds for ground-mounted solar equipment and approximately 25-year lifespan. Their expected completion in 2019. It is a conditional use permit under the electric power plants, transmission, distribution, substations, and electric facilities. And there's a site plan you can see of the property there. To the north, we have residential cluster zoning, which includes some vacant land, church, and some single-family detached dwellings. East is zone PD for the church and Tom Daniels Elementary School. To the south is zone public and institutional, single-family detached dwelling. To the west is zone PI and RC, vacant and public institutional uses. This is conditional use again under the current zoning district, PI. And you'll see in the, excuse me, to the right page here. You'll see in the draft resolution of the conditions of approval as kind of our standard conditions of approval for a conditional use permit. One of the key elements for most cases has to do with platting, for the property to be platted prior to construction. With this being just a utility project on a larger tract of land, the applicant has requested that the property not require platting. The basis is this is a lease tract, and Shriner University doesn't have any intentions of platting the 31-acre tract that this is on. Again, roughly 4.5 acres outside of that 30 acres that the university owns. Staff is amenable to that as far as removing that condition. Otherwise, they do have the site plan. They brought this site plan through staff and the Development Review Committee, pending the conditional use permit, and then of course their building permit staff approval has been acquired. With that, I'd be pleased to answer any questions now or after the public hearing.
Okay, let's go ahead and open up public hearing at 4:35. Anybody wishing to make a statement to the commission in this regard, please step to the podium. State your name and address, please. Hearing none, seeing none, I close a public hearing at 4:36. Commissioners, any questions?
What I guess who is this, the power that this generates, who is that serving? Is it just for Shriner? Is it serving K-Pub in general?
Goes back to K-Pub,
Okay.
and my limited understanding of electricity is that that'll actually help the load in that immediate area. How large of an area that is, I can't speak to. But it does go back into the K-Pub system. Mike, if you want to jump in.
Mike, you want to talk?
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Whitler, the general manager at K-Pub. And what we're doing with these systems is we're letting half of the output be used by the host, in this case Shriner University. And then we're using the other half of the output to serve a new low and moderate income rate class. There are also benefits to all customers because the installation of the system reduces system peaks and it reduces costs there. But technically, we'll measure the energy output and we'll apply it to Shriner University's bill and to these low and moderate income customer bills.
Mike, any issues with glare? I don't know a lot about solar panels, but is there anything with that?
I'm gonna bring Connor Goodson up. He's with the solar developer. And so,
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Connor Goodson with Res Distributed. Glare should not be an issue at this location. The nearest receptor is the airport, which is kind of outside the parameters that we would normally see.
Okay. I was just thinking of the residences around it.
Typically, no.
Okay.
No.
So it wouldn't affect approach or takeoff from the airport?
No. No, and actually we've done a glare study for that receptor and have seen no issues.
Okay.
So,
And it doesn't affect HDTV?
not that I don't think so.
Good, thank you.
Okay, so whose transmission line is it that's going across?
That'll be K-Pubs.
Okay,
if you're asking, there's an existing transmission
Right.
line crossing the property and that belongs to LCRA.
right, okay, all right. And having been affected by an LCRA transmission line before, our second line of defense after the Golden Cheek Warbler was EMS. And so, and the
Okay.
questions of that and whatever, does this in any way impact, that transmission line, in any way impact your equipment?
No, in fact, solar interference in general is very minimal, to the level of, a transformer appliance of that nature. So we've actually been working with Ann Manning at LCRA and verbally been given approval to cross underneath their transmission line with the access road, but we're waiting on final documentation.
And these are static installations, right?
Correct.
Right, and have one angle. So-
Well, no, sorry, they're single axis in that regard. So they track east to west.
Okay, okay. And this 20-year lease is based on the life of the equipment, or
The
what,
20-year.
the use of K-Pub, or?
Yeah, so that's a fixed term power purchase agreement that K-Pub has agreed to.
Okay,
So maintains price stability for K-Pub.
okay, okay.
Thank you. Any other questions, concerns? If not, I'll accept the motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Chairman, point of clarification. Does that include the removal of the plating requirement in the draft resolution?
Was that part of the,
Part of staff presentation, yes. But it
okay.
is,
Do you want to go ahead and restate your motion? To include that?
Yes,
yes?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Just clarifying.
And a second as well?
Second, yes.
Everybody still agree?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, 3B, another public hearing requirement, Drew.
Thank you, Chairman. This is a request of HEB for 300 Main Street and the adjacent properties. I'll read through those addresses real quick. known as 212, 220, and 300 Main Street, and 217 Jefferson Street. It is a change from 11C Central Business District, or to the Central Business District, excuse me, on 6.8 acres of land, and again, on Main Street and Jefferson Street. This request is part of their overall project for this site, and the adjacent zoning areas, you can see on the map there. To the north, east, and west is zoned 11C. To the south is zoned CBD, and this is just an expansion of the CBD district. And you can see in your backup there is a list of the change in permitted uses for this from 11C to the CBD district. The downtown central business district does expand the list of permitted uses. And you can see in your copy there are a few that are highlighted, or excuse me, highlighted on the screen for those that affect the HEB project. From the 11C, conditional uses would be that project over 100,000 square feet, or that is allowed in the CBD by right. Additionally, there will be the Business Service Center, and they'll be coming back for a conditional use permit to replace the gas station that's currently there. There's some photographs of the adjacent area and the existing site. And you also have the draft ordinance in front of you for your recommendation to City Council. I'd be pleased to answer any questions before or after the public hearing.
Okay, let's go ahead and open up a public hearing. 442. Anybody wishing to comment, please step to the podium. State your name and address, please.
Yes, Benjamin Scott, 646 South Flores, San Antonio, Texas. I'm a representative of HEB, and I just want to come out and thank staff and the city team that's helped us with this project thus far. So this is the first step in what we hope is a entitlement process to get a new store here in our hometown that we're very excited about. So this zoning helps us and gives the flexibility to make this project work. And it's the first step, as I say, is we're looking to combine the parcels that we own already that are across Hayes Street eventually, close that street and locate a new store on the south side of the property there. And allow us to get about 100,000 square foot store there, a standard parking layout, and go from 6 pumps, I think today, to 16 pumps. So really bring the store here in Kerrville up to kind of modern times and give you our best and brightest in our hometown. So we appreciate everyone's support with this, and we're available for any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleased to have HEB here.
Thank you.
Any other comments? You have a comment for the
No.
public hearing? Anybody else wishing to speak? If not, I'll close the public hearing at 4:43. And questions, comments, David?
You are going to close that one block of Hayes Street, or you have planned moving
Yes, sir.
forward?
That's built in the plan if City Council does approve that. Yes, sir.
Okay. Staff's looked at that?
We started looking at that. We've started looking at the title search on that, scheduling the public hearing before City Council, and moving forward with that. They're finishing up their traffic impact analysis and should be moving forward through in the next month or two to City Council.
Excuse me, I have a question for either one of you. Two questions, really. The closing of Hayes Street, and this will, I will assume, will come up in your traffic analysis plan. What does that do for the circulation? If you're looking at the courthouse, the city hall, as the center core of what we call our CDB, Quinlan would be if you have drew 3 circles around it, Quinlan would be the first circle, Hayes would be the second circle if you're looking about pedestrian as well as vehicular mobility that serves the downtown area. And that's an issue that I would hope you would address in your traffic analysis, is how that might impact on the future growth. My second question is kind of a land use question, but in general, is it my understanding that your new structure will be to the east of the existing structure?
It's east or south. So
Okay.
abutting the newspaper property and the steakhouse there on that. And it allows us with this spacing, if you see just to the left of what we show as the HEB box here, is the outline of the existing store. So we'll basically abut the two buildings, and it allows us to keep the existing store operational the full time that we construct the new store. Basically, we finish construction, turn off the lights in the old store, and turn on the lights in the new store the next day. And that's kind of the unique part of how these site plans have laid out, and one of the problems that this solves.
Thank you. I'd not
Yes.
seen this. This
Yeah, well,
answers my question.
Okay.
It really addresses my land use issue as well. So I do have a little bit of a problem with when we're talking about mobility and connectivity of our transportation, both vehicular as well as pedestrian. Kerrville has just recently beginning to focus on what we need to do with our downtown. And so we're kind of sensitive as to how that goes. Now, I'm going to take a point of personal privilege, if I may, sir. I was on a review team that was putting together a proposal to do a comprehensive plan for Kerrville back in the early 70s. And one of the issues that we expressed at that time, that if something was not done about the central business district, that we were going to lose the concept core of being a both governmental and a retail. And subsequently that's happened. We've got many retails moving out of the central business district. So there's a little of nostalgia, I guess, on my part, and my interest in seeing that the CBD stays at least constant at this point, and hopefully we can get back into revitalization, because that is a part of our new comprehensive master plan.
Our hope is, and with the zoning request tonight, that we can be a catalyst for that by joining the CBD and be one retailer that's actually coming into that core, that our funds will go into the TERS, I believe, that was just set up, and that we can be a great representative and a signature project of a retailer using the CBD zoning and being a part of that revitalization. So we hope that we share that same vision, and we want to be close to downtown. It's important to HEB, and being our hometown, we want to be near the center of the action where everything started. So.
Well, thank you. I'm acquainted with a lot of CBDs that are dead. I watched them pull the pole over the city downtown Laredo several years ago. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing the point of privilege.
No, thank you. I think the concern is more with the downtown business district, maybe than the CBD. The CBD is around that.
Right.
What we're trying to reactivate is the downtown, but I think what y'all are proposing is perfect. My only question, will your existing uses and proposed uses all fit in the CBD zoning?
Let me go back to that list I had there. The gas station is a conditional use for the CBD.
Okay.
So they will have to come back to build that new gas station. If they left the existing station, it doesn't fit well in their site plan, but if they left the existing one, it would be grandfathered. But as you can see on that site plan, they are proposing the new station. The existing canopy is right here,
Oh, okay.
and they're proposing the new one here with the car wash extended there. But the grocery store and the car wash are allowed by right.
Thank you.
So can you go back? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So the footprint of the new service station will be, obviously, you said 16?
16 pumps are with diesel compared to the 6 we have today.
Okay.
Fueling stations, that it's not pumps. For clarity.
You're not going all the way to Lima Street?
We are not, those owners are, we've tried for years and it hasn't worked. So we headed a different way, and I actually think this is a better site plan at the end of the day, because we do get to keep the existing store open the full time.
Okay, so when you say a gasoline station, I mean, I'm sorry, give me my nomenclature. What is it? You got a pump on each side?
That would be 2 fueling positions. So I think this site plan here shows it. We've got 10 on here, fuel pumps or 20 fueling stations.
Okay.
What we've debated back and forth is between 16 and 20. So it's that last set.
You
whether
could
we'll
do
do
the
them or not.
outside perimeters as well.
Yes. Yes.
And y'all are fully experienced in that existing code will, not just our code, but federal code and whoever oversees gasoline stations, that you can put that on that property site.
Yes, we've got our engineers here, and I don't think we've seen any issues on that.
Good afternoon, Mark Johnson. I'm a civil engineer with Stantec. HEB has a number of gas stations. We permit them through the state. TCEQ, there's permitting for the underground storage tanks through the state. So that would be done with this project, just like any other project.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the last one, urban rumor that these stores, the stores in Kerrville are family owned rather than company owned?
They are today, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make us any more special than having been the?
I think you're always going to be special because it's our hometown. This is where we started. And
All right.
I think, to the Butt family and to HEB, Kerrville's always going to hold a special place. And I think that's why we're personally very excited about this project on our own, is being able to do this. And as you ask about the Limo side and the urban rumors that have been around for years, we've been working on this for a long time. And to finally kind of have a breakthrough that this is coming together, we're very excited about too. So
Well, I'm glad to see it. My only thing is make the aisles a little bit wider.
we have heard that request. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And as our fearless leader said, we've been through this great big planning session and whatever else. We have a lot of things that we're trying to get done, and we're very much on tender hooks, and we feel like we're in pretty good hands with you guys. But
we appreciate it, and we appreciate how staff's worked with us very closely, and we'll continue to do that and keep folks very informed, because it is a complex project from the entitlement standpoint and a little bit different from the norm. So we've appreciated their hard work and rolling up their sleeves with us to move fast. So we appreciate that very much.
Well, thank you for explaining. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any comments? If not, I'll accept a motion.
move we accept the plan as presented and forwarded on to City Council for review.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. That passes 5-0. Thank you. Number 4, staff report.
What we have right now is the Code Review Committee is actually in session right now upstairs, working on some administrative sections and looking at the various zoning districts of the zoning code. That project's going to continue moving forward, looking at possible adoption and public hearings through February and March for the zoning code. Then they'll move on to the subdivision code and some other auxiliary development codes. Sidewalk ordinance, park dedication. Yeah, what else we have coming up?
Zoning, subdivision, park dedication.
It's kind of the big ones.
Some of the
Yeah,
more auxiliary ones.
Did you say sidewalks?
I did say sidewalks. Looking at sidewalks both through the subdivision or regulations, separate sidewalk ordinance, and engineering's also looking at sidewalk requirements through their engineering specifications for right-of-way management as well. So that'll definitely be addressed within the next several months. As of right now, we do not have any specific agenda items for our November 15th agenda, but we'll keep you posted if we do have anything come up for that work session.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Any other business for this commission today? If not, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.